Morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you once again for joining me on my channel. It's a beautiful Saturday and it's a nice weather, though it's a bit cold here in Canada, really cold outside. But it's a weather that we've gotten used to over time. Basically, I'm coming to your faces again today to discuss one issue that I notice is now paramount in Canada, especially for my African brothers and sisters. So this video intends to throw more light so that if you are delving into this aspect of immigration, you should prepare yourself before coming. If you decide to choose this path as your probably the way you want to jackpot to another country, may it be US, Canada, any country, but basically our emphasis today will be on Canada. And what am I talking about today? Today I'll be talking about the issue of asylum. Yeah, the issue of asylum. Asylum in the sense that lately there has been increase in the number of people seeking asylum, especially in Canada. And why is this so? Because other processes through which people can easily migrate to Canada has become a bit tough. So people are looking for the easy way out. Before now, people normally use the education route to come to Canada, and probably by the time they go through their studies, 1 year program, 2 years program, or a PhD, they apply for PR after seeking getting the necessary Canadian experience, and they get their PR. But now, even as the process has been made a bit tough, the requirements, even for proof of fund, is high, and we know how much, especially in Nigeria, how much Naira is trading to the dollar, which has made things a bit difficult. So a lot of people are seeking through this refugee route. It's called asylum, and you can call it as a refugee route too. So I want to throw some understanding into this subject, so that even if you are coming to Canada and you decide to go through this route, you should have at the back of your mind what you are coming into or what you are standing up against. Basically, I want to say to seek asylum is a legal way to migrate to another country. There's nothing wrong with it. Yeah, to seek asylum. And Canada, just like many other countries, they are signed to the treaty like a convention. I might have to read it here. It says Canada has been long recognized as a haven for refugees seeking protection from persecution in their home countries. As of 2024, the asylum process in Canada has evolved, reflecting the dynamic global landscape. Understanding the various ways to qualify for asylum is crucial for those seeking asylum in this diverse and welcoming country. So, and I want to go further to say, asylum is legal if you are seeking asylum. And what does asylum mean? You might want to ask, what does asylum mean? So, in the nutshell, asylum is people trying to seek for refuge in another country, but in a situation whereby you can prove that yes, you are being persecuted in your home country or wherever you are coming from, so you can able to seek asylum in a different country. So asylum is more like I'm seeking protection from another country, and Canada, like many other countries, they are signed to this international treaty. So Canada welcomes a lot of asylum seekers every year. Yeah, Africans, people from Middle East, people from the Americas, world over, Asia Pacific, wherever. So a lot of people come into Canada seeking asylum. But now you need to know the nitty-gritty. It's not just you just come to Canada and you say you're seeking asylum. You need to understand that there are some basic things that you need to meet, fundamentals, for you to qualify for asylum. And basically, I'm going to break it down. Who are those that can seek for asylum? Probably, let's say you're coming into Canada, you are seeking asylum. So how do you qualify for, say, okay, you are seeking asylum and the Canadian government will listen to you? So I have a breakdown here. I'm just going to like take it one after the other, so that even if you are coming and you want to like, okay, I want to declare asylum, you should fall into one of these categories. That's what we're going to talk about today. So the first one we're talking about today is you can seek asylum probably if your race, if you're having challenges with your race. Here it's a race. Asylum may be sought based on persecution or discrimination due to one's race. Yeah, you may find that maybe you are a black man, you are in a country and you are being discriminated against, or you are a white man, you find yourself in another country, you are being discriminated against. You can seek asylum based on race. Race has to do with your color, your, what's it called? You're either black, brown, or white, you know. Race, you're either an African or wherever you be. So based on your race, you can seek asylum. Yeah. But now, if you are seeking asylum, whichever way you tend to like seek asylum, you must be able to provide proof beyond reasonable doubt that yes, you are being persecuted, you are being discriminated against because of your race or any of the reasons that I'm going to mention below. So the first one I mentioned is race. So we'll go quickly to the second one, religion. You can be persecuted due to your religion. Just like you find that some Christians in some certain parts of the world, they are not allowed to worship God freely. Maybe they are Christians, they are not allowed to worship the Christian way freely. So most of them, they hide to worship and all that. So based if your religion is being discriminated against or you are being abused because of your religion, you can seek asylum in another country, especially Canada. Like I said, Canada is the country that we are using as case study today. So if you are coming to Canada and you want to seek asylum based on your religion, you're able to do that, but you have to prove that yes, you are being persecuted because of your religion, and vice versa. It's not one-sided. So you may even be a Muslim in another country and you are being persecuted because of your religion. Based on that, you can seek asylum here in Canada, but you have to provide proof that yes, you are being persecuted. You understand? Not just word of mouth. So that won't hold water at all. We'll quickly go to the third one, nationality. So excuse me, please. See, asylum can be sought if an individual is persecuted based on their nationality. You understand? We have some people, just like, I think is the Prime Minister of Poland. I heard him discussing one time or so, and he said, do you know why there's no crime rate in what's it called, in Poland? I think I watched one video like that. I said because the reason is because they don't allow asylum seekers into their country. Mostly people from the Middle East and all that, you know, Africans and all that. So now it's obvious that people are being persecuted because of their nationality. So if you are someone like that and you are in Poland and all that, you can seek asylum in another country. Because definitely because of your nationality, you are being persecuted. Or so if you decide to seek asylum in another country, especially Canada, at least you have proof to back it up, to back your claim up. Quickly go to number 4. It's a membership in a political or social group. People who are targeted due to their membership in a specific social group, which can include factors like gender, sexual orientation, or political affiliation. So I want to take like the political affiliation for the let's say socialize. Let me take the first one. Say social group. Example like if you know our current president now, he belongs to this group called Afenifere. Yeah. So back then, during the military regime, that the military, you know, they were like up against the military, and the military was actually looking for every member. If they catch you if you are a member, you know, remember Abacha then and all that. So basically, most of them fled the country. Even someone like Dele Momodu, he fled the country and all that. So all of them, like Dele Momodu, I can say authoritatively that he got to the UK and he sought asylum in the UK and he was given asylum. So Definitely, if you can prove that your life is in danger because of your social affiliation, there's definitely they will grant you asylum. It's like the country you are going to now is giving you refuge to be able to stay. So quickly go to political opinion. There are some people they find themselves in a country and probably there's a ruling government and they don't agree with that government. So because of that, the government in power is like attacking them or something like that. Recently we heard about Navalny in Russia. Navalny is someone that is against the Putin's regime and all that. So definitely if someone like Navalny, goes to a country like Canada or anywhere to seek asylum, he will be granted asylum because it's obvious, it's everywhere in the news that Putin actually wants the man dead. And even before then, he's been attacked, he's been harassed, and all that. Eventually, Navalny died, I think, was it last week or so. He's dead, I think. If they have not buried him, maybe they will be planning his burial. He died last week in prison, you know. Definitely, yeah, people might want to say anything, but we can see the finger of Putin all around it. Yeah, that's the way it operates there. You go against Putin, and the next thing, even the other military guy, the one that has this force that they always use, he went against Putin and all that. So Putin invited him for like a round table. They had a round table, not up to 1 month, and the guy died. So it's just like people like that, that, okay, because of your political affiliation, that your life may be in danger. So people like that, if you sought asylum, definitely they will grant you asylum. So quickly go to gender-related persecution. This is number 6 now. Say individuals facing persecution based on their gender, including issues such as forced marriage, domestic violence, or female genital mutilation. Okay, we have, especially like in Nigeria, in northern Nigeria, we have young girls, 12, 13, that are being forced into marriage. Definitely, a lady that is 12, 13, that's still a child. You can't force such people into marriage, you understand? So, people like that, at that age, you are being forced into a marriage against your will. Definitely, you have a very strong case to file for asylum in a different country. So, if you come to a country like Canada and you file for asylum and you're able to provide proof that you have been forced into marriage against your will because of your age, young age and all that, then definitely you'll be granted asylum. Another thing here that they mentioned is domestic violence. Okay, maybe you are married to someone and your partner is maltreating you and you have evidence to show for it, then definitely you'll be granted asylum because it will be assumed that you living with that person, your life is not safe. It's vice versa. It can be the man, it can be the woman. You understand? And you're able to show documentary evidence that your life is not safe if you keep staying with this man or you keep living in the country with this man or this woman. Your life will be in danger. Definitely, you'll be granted asylum. Another thing they mentioned here is female genital mutilation, more like female circumcision. Here in the West, it's something they really frown at. You don't go and circumcise a lady. You understand? So if you go and you say, okay, that's your reason for probably running away from the country or away from your people because they are looking for you because they want to like circumcise you. That's a very good ground for you to file asylum. Is a very good case. I know people that have used this to file for asylum here in Canada and they got their permanent residency. We'll quickly go to number 7, sexual orientation. We have we're talking about the gay, lesbian, transgender, bisexual, all those people, LGBTQ. So if you are able to, like here in Canada, it's legal. Nobody disturbs you. Your sexual orientation is nobody's business. So basically, but back in Africa, especially in Nigeria, if you are caught, you go to the prison for 14 years. In Ghana, I think it was last week or so, they passed a law that banning gay or lesbian practice is illegal in Ghana, just like the way it is in Nigeria and most of the African countries is like that. And why are they taking this position? They just believe it's not in our culture and all that. So basically, such people, when they come to places like Canada and they say, oh, their life is in danger because of their sexual orientation, and they're able to prove that yes, their life is really in danger, and definitely your refugee, assessment will scale through, and they will listen to you. They will grant you your permanent residency because they believe. And people that are coming through this route, especially the LGBTQ route, because this one now, the news is all over. It's in the news. People can see it. You don't need to provide hard evidence. Even those in Canada here, by the time Ghana announced it that it's illegal, they can see it in their news. They even read it in their TV stations and all that. So you don't have to prove so much. So basically, it's just for you to come and say, probably you are gay or you are lesbian and your life is in danger. You don't want to be killed back home. That's why you fled the country. So we have so many people that use that to, most of them, especially from Africa. Now lie, they lie, if you understand me. Might just speak pidgin for this one. But that's what they use to just scale through to get their papers. They come and they say, oh, they are gay and all that. So due to their sexual orientation, that their life is in danger. So we quickly move to number 8. It's an association with a particular social group. Say persecution based on one association with a specific social group, which can include family ties, can be grounds for seeking asylum. We have some family, just like you belong to a particular social group, maybe your family and all that. Your family has ties with that, especially I use Afenifere to explain the other time. So such people, they can seek asylum, and if you're able to prove that because of your social affiliation to a group, that your life is being threatened and all that. Okay, example now, like maybe let's say the IPOB in Nigeria. It's a social group. They are agitating to have their own country and all that. And the Nigerian government is always clamping on them and all that. So if you come and say, oh, your life is in danger because of this and that and that, I think it should be a ground for you to be able to file for asylum. But you have to show proof that government is really after your life, Someone like Nnamdi Kanu, I know he will not do it anyway. But if he comes out and comes to, and he's been in detention for over 2 years. So if he comes out, maybe they release him. I know he's a UK citizen. But if he comes out and maybe come to Canada or this and say he wants to seek asylum because his life is not safe in Nigeria or this thing, they will grant him straight off. They will grant him. You understand? Quickly go to another example is if you remember when they had NSAS protests in Nigeria. If you remember this lady DJ Switch, yeah, because she was one of the prominent figure in that protest. It was all over the news that the government was looking for her everywhere. So how she was able to sneak out of the country and all that and came to Canada. Eventually, Canada granted her asylum. Yeah, Canada granted her asylum because one, she was able to prove that her life is in danger. Secondly, all the evidences are there. Even the CNN interviewed her, so many, international TV stations. So her evidences were like hard rock, So she was able to get her asylum in Canada. Another thing here was humanitarian and compassionate grounds. You say in some cases, which include circumstances such as on humanitarian and compassionate ground. This can include circumstances such as serious health issue, exceptional personal circumstances. Okay, let's assume someone is in Canada and all that, and maybe you have serious health issues. Maybe health issue whereby you can only get good treatment if you are here in Canada. Then that will fall under maybe humanitarian or compassionate ground. It's not as if you qualify for having what's it called, being granted asylum. But when they look at your health condition and they say, oh, if we send this person back to his or her country and is not able to get proper medical, the person might just die. So maybe on that compassionate ground, they may just allow you to stay so that you'll be able to have access to proper medical facility and proper medical. We'll quickly go to number 10. Say risk of torture or cruel treatment. Say if an individual faces a genuine risk of torture or cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment in home country, they may seek asylum. There are some people that they face so that is inhuman treatment. You understand what here is saying? You may not have fallen in any of these that I've outlined before, but if you're able to prove that you are being faced by this inhuman, degradable, inhuman treatment, you know, and you have evidence to show that, oh, your life is in danger, then definitely you'll be granted asylum. Also, another point I would like to add finally is that one of the reasons where one could qualify for seeking asylum, especially in Canada, is during war and conflict. You are in a situation whereby your country is at war, with probably maybe with itself, maybe different ethnic groups or different section of the country are at war with each other, or probably your country is at war with another country. Definitely, you know your life is not safe. So it's a very good grounds to seek asylum. A very good example is, you see, currently we have Ukraine having this war with Russia. So you find that most Ukrainians, even Canada, they opened a pathway, especially for people from Ukraine, because Canada, they are supporting the Ukraine nation. Another situation, maybe people from like Afghanistan, all those war-torn area, you know. Yeah, you can come to Canada and seek asylum because definitely your life is not safe there. There may be, in a particular country, there may be different factions within a country are fighting each other. Yeah, on that grounds you can seek asylum. To a very good example is when Sudan was still one country. You know, we have South Sudan and Sudan itself. Then they used to be one country and they were actually fighting against each other until eventually South Sudan was able to like have its own country. Then we talk about Rwanda. When Rwanda had their genocide, you remember the war was not between Rwanda and another country. It was just within itself. We have the Tutsis and the Hutus. Those are different ethnic groups within Rwanda that were like fighting each other. So as at that time, if probably you are from Rwanda, you'll be able to seek asylum, especially in Canada or any of these countries that, you know, signed to the treaty. So asylum. So quickly, I want to add that if you are coming, especially from Africa, and you are coming into Canada, you want to seek asylum, I will advise people that immediately you land at the airport, declare for asylum there at the airport. Don't wait. By the time you enter into the Canadian system, you are there for 2-3 months or maybe 6 months or so. Later you find out that what you is not adding up, then you now go back and say, oh, you want to declare asylum. I will tell you that that has started affecting your chances, because it will show that you're coming into the country. Your initial plan was not to file for asylum, but because maybe things are not adding up the way you expect, then you just had a second thought and you quickly filed for asylum. So I would advise people, I have a lot of people that they just come in, and by the time, because they use visitors visa, with visitors visa, when you come, you are not eligible to a work permit, so you cannot work. You understand? So basically the kind of job you do is the jobs that they call under the table job, maybe menial jobs that they pay you your stipend or whatever they are paying you as salary. They just pay it. You are not paid into an account because, one, you don't have a SIN number and all that, you know. In America it's called social insurance number. Here in Canada we call it SIN number, the same thing. So with that, you will not be able to open a bank account. So probably those people, they work under the table kind of job, maybe in the farm or some warehouses, some factory, meat shops, places like that. So you don't go and start doing that before later you just come back and say, okay, you want to declare asylum. Yes, they will still accept you, but it may start affecting your chances. So if you want to declare asylum, right from when you are leaving the country, just make up your mind as soon as you land at, if it's Toronto airport or whichever airport you land, from the airport, or if you are coming probably through land border or anywhere, from the border there, declare that, okay, you want to seek refugee status. Another thing I advise is, whatever story you start with, stick with that story. It's going to help you a lot. Even if you are lying, make sure you lie to the end. If you say you are a gay or lesbian, LGBTQ, maintain that story to the end. Don't go maybe in the middle, then you now start changing and say, okay, no, this is not the reason, this is the other reason. That will affect your chances. So basically, that is it. So I just say I should bring that to the nutshell, because a lot of our African brothers are trooping into Canada, and most of them, they just come and say, okay, they don't really know about this asylum. So I think this video might help one or two persons be able to know that, okay, if you decide that you want to come and declare asylum, it has to fall into any of this category, and ensure that you have your hard evidence to back up whatever claim that you want to claim. Another thing I'll add, that definitely you are going to face a hearing. So for you to face a hearing, you have to hire a lawyer that will represent you. So, and those lawyers, they don't come cheap. So you have to be prepared for the financial implication too. You understand? I hope this video, drives something home and helps one or two persons there. Thank you for watching, and if you have not subscribed yet, please kindly subscribe. Thank you very much. On to the next one.